All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. All right, I hope everybody is doing well. Okay, on this Saturday morning. Y'all forgive me if I seem a little slowish or whatever, cause I just got off my second job and I have not had any sleep because I need to get the message out. Okay, I've been given another message to share with you guys. All right, to the best of my ability, to the best of my knowledge, and from my own experience. Okay, so everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Okay, I always want to get everything like that out on the front line. It's nothing to push up on nobody. It's nothing to try to influence anybody about, especially nothing negative anyway. Okay, so um, yeah, I have another message that I need to share. So if you tuned in again, if you're new, also if you're a new subscriber, welcome in. So welcome to all my subscribers, okay? And I appreciate you guys for sticking with me. I also, um, again, hope that everybody is doing well, and I appreciate your support as well, okay? Um, I want to make sure I get that out there. Always want to give you guys, your props, your flowers of appreciation from me to you, okay, collective. So, with the title, if you have tuned in to this video to hear this message with the title, that must mean that it's possible something here could be for you that can help you along your journey. Something you may not understand, maybe there's answers or whatever for you here. I hope so. That will give you any kind of conclusions or give you any kind of closure or some type of answer to help you move forward along your journey and moving through your purpose. Okay, um, the assignment of a chosen one or a chosen seed, however you want to see it, okay? Um, the assignment is real, okay? And I won't be pulling any cards on this one because this is a message that was given to me to help and give to others, okay? That may have questions, like I said, may be uncertain about certain things, not knowing what certain things to look for or understand. Okay, when it comes to your assignment, what are you here to do? What is your purpose? You're here for a reason. Most of us, if you are in my age range, most of us who are chosen that I know of, okay, a lot of, I would say, your training when it comes to an assignment, a lot of the training is done when you're young. That's when most of all of the endurance happens. It's like being in a gym, okay, except it's not fun, okay? Because the question is, are you even sure you want the assignment? Um, you know, it's 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 something to really understand when it comes to being a chosen one, that being chosen doesn't mean you're perfect. Being chosen doesn't mean you're better than anybody else. Being chosen simply means that you're somewhere down the line was that warrior. You fought to get to where you are. And the fight wasn't easy. Okay? Most of the time you may have felt like you was losing the fight with life. Because life is a fight. It's one big learning experience. And you got to fight your way through it. And if you don't know how, it'll take you out of here to drown you right out, okay? And as a chosen seed or a chosen one, take it how it resonates for you. Um, the assignment, like I said, is very real because first of all, you have to go through your own journey of learning and experiencing um, the whole period of being young, and because that's where it starts when you're young. most of the time you have to experience these ups and downs on different levels of life, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. There's a lot of flexibility and adapting that has to happen within your life. There's a lot of uncomfortableness that happens when you're in your younger periods of your life. Having the assignment goes deep because you got to first be equipped for the assignment. You know, it's like having a job. You can't begin the project if you don't know what the project is going to be consistent of. You don't have no kind of training within on this field or within this field on this level. How can you start a project if you don't have a clue what it takes to even create a plan for the project? You got to have been equipped. It's the same thing when you are chosen. And most people know the saying, okay, about the Most High giving his hardest battles to his strongest warriors. And it doesn't mean that everybody else isn't strong. It's just that that chosen one was made to do this. It's like a task that was given. And if you not considered or you don't feel like you're a chosen person, that doesn't make you any less of a warrior. You still have your level. You still have your role to play. We all do. On the spiritual level, 3D level, as well as, 3D level, spiritual level, the highs and lows of life. Okay? So, an assignment, everybody has a different assignment. But most people go through a lot of the same traumas of life that actually brings about those lessons to become strong, which is that's the hard part. That's why I say it's like, are you sure about why you're here? Do you know why you're here? Some people do, some people don't, some people still trying to figure it out. I was one of those people. Okay, I figured I was here for a reason, but why? Because there are many times, even in childhood, I remember there were times I should have lost my life. I didn't. And it was more than once, more than twice. And I didn't. And there was a lot going on in the environment. The circumstances wasn't all that great. These are the things that you experience. So you got to understand, in order to be strong, in order to be that warrior, in order to endure, persevere, learn to push through, in order to have willpower, in order to have discipline, you have to go through trial and tribulation of it to learn in order to gain that wisdom, in order to gain that strength, right? And that happens when you're younger. Most people go through that in their childhood from ages 6 on up to 16. Those age ranges right there. Those age ranges are very sensitive. Very sensitive, okay? And when you're chosen, you could feel like even when you were young, you may not have known about the spiritual part of it. You may have sensed it, but not known the depths of the spiritual part of it. So you basically was operating, 3D all the time in survival mode, learning habits and learning, I could say bad behavior patterns and stuff like that that pretty much follows you throughout. You learn these different things in childhood. You pick these things up. You see things demonstrated, in front of you. Things that shouldn't happen, like domestic violence and, being abused mentally, spiritually, emotionally abused or made fun of. These are the things that happens when you're young as a chosen seed or a chosen one. The feeling is rather low. It's a low feeling, especially when you feel like, no one really understands me. I'm always in isolation. You have family people who act like they don't like you, and it's not an act. They're actually on that level with you energetically because there's something special about you in the first place. And when you encounter that leaves a lot of brokenness within you, dealing with family people who have a low-key hatred for you. They don't like when you come around. They look at you nasty. They can't stand you for whatever reason. You can't figure out, to save your life, why does this person hate me? Why does this person act like this with me? What did I do wrong? It's not you. It's a negative spirit in them that's coming at you. Okay? And that's the thing about a chosen seed, a chosen person. Like I say, if you tuned in, it must be something here for you because the title says the assignment of a chosen seed. Okay? Or a chosen one. That assignment is something that you must grow into. It's not something that you just know how to do automatically when it comes to the strengths of it. When it comes to having control, when it comes to having discipline. We talking inner strength. Okay? Inner strength is what we're talking about here. Willpower. Okay? Regardless of conditioning, you've allowed your mind to think outside of the conditioning. Being a rebel. See, it's different things that happen when you're young, and some of it spiritually you don't even notice. You just pretty much in your innocence, so you go with the flow of life. Okay, because when you're young, you're being told what to do, how to do it, when to do it, when you're a kid. But that's when most chosen ones actually receive the most traumas, the most brokenness, the most pains, the most suffering when you are in your childhood years, because the enemy knows that that's when you're most sensitive, but you're also most absorbent to things around you, people, actions, illustrations, demonstrations. You're more absorbing to the things you listen to, the music, the things you watch, your environment. You're absorbent to your community, the kids around you, the adults around you, the negative energies around you. And being chosen as well, you have people who you know and don't know, okay, who literally conjure up what they call demons. They conjure that up. They make these nasty, ugly, low down, dirty rituals they make up because they want to go make a deal with the devil and try to sacrifice somebody, and they want to try to sacrifice you because they don't like you, they don't like your parent, or they jealous of one of your parents. These things happen, and it starts spiritual warfare. It really does. It starts a spiritual warfare in the spirit realm. Okay? Where as a child, even in your innocence, you have a spiritual team. You have angels that are assigned to you. You have angels that will look after you, even as a child. That will protect you from being, I would say, being killed, and sometimes protect you from being hurt or hit in an accident or something like that, or protect you from being kidnapped, or it's things that you are protected from as a chosen seed in your childhood period. But there are also things that you are left to deal with, responsibility of dealing with brokenness and pain and sorrows. Sometimes even it gets so bad to where it's depression, and then depression can assist in other things like bad habits, bad behavior, because it's a demonstration of how I feel emotionally. And as a child, you don't have that kind of control. It's something you have to learn. And that's why I say, if you're my age now, in the age ranges of, I would say anywhere from, I would say late 20s on up. Okay? Chosen seed from the ages of 6 to 16. That's a 10-year span. And during those 10 years, if a chosen seed survived through it, you have already experienced spiritual attacks. You've already experienced people trying to do sacrifices and spells over your life because they got to try to stop you before you get where you're going. You have a destiny. It's not destination, it's a destiny. You have a purpose. You have a job to do. You have people who need you. People who you're going to enlighten and you're going to awaken and you're going to advise them and you're going to sit with them and you're going to talk with them and understand them and let them know they're not alone. Let them know they are important. They do matter. And you know, these things that you ought to share, you cannot share something you have not experienced. So you got to go get the training first. And that's what happens in the ages of range of 6 to 16. That training is rough. It's hard. It's deep. It's scary. It's dark. It's hurtful. It makes you want to commit suicide. It makes you want to run away. It makes you want to leave from where you are because you feel like you don't belong. It makes you want to just find you a black hole and just crawl into it and disappear, you know? Especially when you're dealing with karmic family members and you find out you've been born into a family that actually doesn't feel like your family because they don't make you feel like you belong. That black sheep crap, that favoritism stuff. You know, this one don't like you because you look like your daddy. This one don't like you because you look like your uncle or you look like your grandfather or all this other mess, okay, that they conjure up. And subconsciously, they meet in the spirit. Because when you're in your subconscious, you know, most of the time you're sleeping. You're unconscious. Subconscious takes over and operates, okay? And we're talking spiritually here. So these people have conjured up, even when you were young. We can go further than that, okay? Even when you're in the womb, you have people that would wish bad upon you because the person that is carrying you has to carry you a span of at least 10 months. Sometimes it goes longer than that. But there are people that may be jealous of that person that's carrying you. Want to see that person hurt. Want to see that person dead. Want to see that person not have a place to stay and be homeless. It's a lot of things that people conjure up when it comes to jealousy and animosity and envy. Okay? And a lot of chosen seeds pay the price for this, and it's simply because of the purpose that you have in your life. And a lot of people get it misconstrued, okay? Ain't no such thing as no chosen seed, and you're entitled to your own opinion. Because when you know, you know. So you're entitled to your own opinion. So ain't no such thing as this, ain't no such thing as that. Oh, you're a chosen seed, you think you all that, or you think you better, or you think, oh, God don't love nobody but you. A lot of people say that and they come at you like that in this projection. It's just an energy of projection because they're unsure, they don't know what that is. Everybody trying to find out and read up on it. You got so many different answers out here, so many different types of articles on it, and you got so many different things you can look into on Google and find this message for that and a message for this. But the thing is, when you are on that level, you are already, it's like being marked. Even when you're in your mother's womb, you're being carried and developed there until you are born into the 3D. You have people who have wished bad upon you in that time span, on that timeline there, to where they try to damage you before you get here, cause a negative energy about you before you even arrive. And a lot of people don't believe this, but it's real. Like I said, I can only give you what I've experienced. I can only give you you know, what I understand it to have been true, because I've actively lived it out. I've actively been a part of that. I've actively had a front row seat to this that I must explain. I've been given the message to share this. Somebody needs to know they're not alone. There's others who have been through this or gone through this just like you, and this is what we did to overcome. That's why we're here to share. That's the purpose of going through the turmoil, because that's what it is when you're young. Once you're born into this world, it's already bad enough before you were born. People want to cast spells and do rituals to try to hurt you, to keep you from being that person that's going to be needed in time to come. You have people who are so evil, they got the nerve to go talk to other spiritualists or readers or whatever you want to call it, and they go and they get readings done, and they go and they try to get spells cast, and they got to find somebody who's into that part where you want to get into divination to make people suffer. And that's what people do. Aunties, uncles, sometimes parents, grandparents, great grandparents, sisters, brothers. You don't know who it is, but when you are born into what you may energetically feel like is the wrong family for you, because it's like nobody likes me around here. People always got something nasty to say. They're always being nasty nice, being sarcastic, showing favoritism. It's a lot of negativity that you're surrounded by. The enemy want to make sure you drown in negativity, drown in poverty, drown in insecurities, drown and not feel confident about yourself, where you just stay in a low vibration. That's why you're targeted once you're in the womb. You're targeted then, because they got it in for you once you come out here. It's their job to make sure you go through pure D hell. But the thing is that they don't realize is that they can wish it for you, but the problem with karma is that karma is best served cold. And when it come back, it's served real cold. Karma cold, boy. Karma is cold. You ain't seen nothing cold hearted until you dealt with some cold karma. And it's because those are the seeds that they planted. You wish bad on one of God's children, okay? A child that has been, a very high ranking spiritual being that has been brought here in the body of a human being to have a human experience so that they can spiritually develop, and they can go and share it with the next brother and share it with the next sister, the next being that's having a human experience, that next spiritual being. We're spiritual beings, and we're not special over anyone else. We're not better than anyone. It's just that we have been equipped energetically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and then physically, of course. We have been equipped with different strengths that starts from the innermost parts of you. That's why you got to go through that, and then you turn around and it's like you're responsible for picking up all the pieces. These are the parts which makes you strong, the parts that hurt the most, the parts that are painful. And like I said, hopefully this is helping someone to understand the concept of this. It may seem like it's kind of all over the place too, because this is kind of new for me. The message that I'm receiving, it hit me, and it amazed me at the same time. It's like I was in my childlike energy trying to figure out what was trying to come to me, and I was like, what? Oh, okay. So I'm trying to remember and write everything down so I can understand, you know, how to bring the information forward. But the thing I love about chosen ones, as they go through what they go through and walk through the fire, and they recover, and they have to learn how to heal themselves. That's the job of a chosen one. See, people don't know that part. It's a lot of things people don't understand when it comes to a chosen seed. Chosen seed don't get off easy. And it seems the people have gotten it misconstrued where they think chosen seeds get off easy. Uh-uh. No, you earn every bit of what you end up having. Every bit of the fruit of your labor, every bit of tear that you have dropped, every bit of heart pain that you have experienced, every lie you've been told, every promise you have been told that never came to pass, every time you got physically abused, every time you got mentally abused, verbally abused, sexually abused by family, by close friends, anything that happened in your childhood that brought about a certain development for you that actually puts you on a good path, because it puts you on a path to your purpose, which starts with healing. Okay, there's a lot that you have to go through as a chosen seed. This is not no piece of cake. This is not no joyride. This is serious. You have people out here committing suicide because they don't understand why they're going through what they're going through. I've seen it. I've heard the stories. Young and older, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you understand who you are, to whom you belong, and when it comes to the higher forces, when it comes to the Most High Mother and Father, your spiritual team, know who you are, know to whom you belong. Okay, it's good to know. Try your best to find out everything you can. Okay, when it comes to being a chosen seed, I'm here to tell you, your most turmoil, and it's because people wishing bad upon you. The most turmoil happens in your childhood. That's how you know for sure that you must have a calling to help heal humanity. You must have a calling to be a spiritual leader, a spiritual teacher, a healer. Yes. That it takes time to develop. It takes time to develop that inner strength, that spiritual strength. It takes time to grow. And over that period of time, there's healing that takes place, but you got to walk alone. That's another thing about being chosen. You walk alone. It's a must. You can't get strong and be no leader and be disciplined if you got to have a crowd around you. You got to learn to be by yourself, on your own. You foot it, you face it, and you gird up your loins and you walk through the fire alone. Nobody gets to go with you. Nobody can assist you. Nobody gets to hold your hand. There's things you have to understand and figure out through spiritual growth, through meditation, and through fasting as well. And that's one of the symptoms that you will encounter when it comes down to spiritual awakening. So I didn't want to go too far off, y'all, but this is a lot of information. If it is, I apologize, and I hope it doesn't take the video, a long time, but I must give you the information. This is important because people are awakening and there's no direction and they're trying to figure it out. And it can be frustrating. It could be sometimes even hurtful. There's no closure to certain things and you don't understand. It takes people who have healed themselves, disciplined themselves, did the inner work, did the spiritual work in order to transform their lives, in order to heal so they can give it to someone else as food, as fuel to the spiritual part of you. You got to be hungry for the information so that you can get the type of information that can help you heal, help you to understand, help you to know your place, and also help you to know how important you are and how greatly you are needed as a chosen. And again, if you have tuned into this video, it must be something here for you. Okay? So I will forever make it known that those young ages of being in your innocence, and that's the part too, sometimes it will have you angry with the Most High because there'll be unanswered questions, there'll be unanswered turmoil, there'll be no closure. You can't get closure to the things you really want to know. You won't get it. You won't always get closure. You're not going to always have answers. There'll be things that you must accept, and accept what it is you can change. Have the courage to change the things you can, and then you got to let things go that's out of your control. These are the things you have to endure. And we're talking at a young age. You have to endure the pain, endure the struggle, endure the poverty, endure the violence that's happening around you, endure your circumstances, endure, the heartaches, whatever you deal with, endure the abandonment, endure the rejections. These are the things you must endure, and these pains will be great. These are great pains. Pains that a lot of times people don't come back from. Everybody they don't make it. They don't make it. And when I say that, I don't mean always like death-wise, because sometimes that happens. Sometimes people have conjured up so many demons. They have connected with the underworld so deeply because they just that evil. And they allow themselves to be used by demons and entities and stuff like that, and monitoring spirits. And these things are real. These things will overtake a person, and they will be very evil, and they will be out for blood. They will do anything they can to stop a chosen seed, because they know in the end that chosen seed is going to realize who they are. They're going to turn around. They're going to heal. They're going to do everything it takes to cleanse themselves, cleanse their energy, change their environment, change their way of thinking. They're going to flip to another system. They're not going to believe the system we've been giving them. They're going to flip. They're going to find out the truth, in other words. And then they're going to be on their mission to help save the next brother, to save the next sister, to save the next community, to save the next couple, to save your own brother, your own sister. Some of you, your own parents. You have one hell of an assignment, and it's real. Take it just as serious as you would take your life. It's real. And I don't mean take your life literally. I mean take it as serious as life itself. Life has value. Take it serious, because your assignment is very valuable, but it starts with you. And unfortunately, you're the one, you got to deal with the mud. You got to come up out the sand, come up out of all the mess that whatever's been created, because it starts, like I say, in the womb. You got people who are way older than you. You're just a baby. You haven't even been born yet, and they wishing bad upon you already. Because them evil spirits, they lurking. The monitoring spirits, they're lurking. Entities, they're lurking. You have people who you don't know, and then you have your own family that you've been born into. These folks conjure up in the spirit realm. Some of them do it unconsciously. They don't even realize they're doing it. They come after you in the spirit. And that's why when you have traumas, it marks you for life. It shuts you down. It makes you cold. It makes you depressed. Sometimes they end up taking their lives. They don't make it all the way through. Okay? That's what the traumas do. It'll take you out of here. It'll take you out of here. You got to be strong-willed. You got to find a way to self-motivate. Find an outlet for yourself, whether it be a sport, whether it be music, whether it be video games. Find something, whether you learn to draw, you learn to build, whatever it is. Love to read books, whatever it is. You would have had to have find yourself some type of way to have an outlet between those ages of 6 and 16. And because the spells and all the conjuring up and sending the entities after you and all that, that happens before you even come here. And you would find yourself a little upset with the Most High, like, because I did, okay? Everybody's different, okay? But I found myself upset with the Most High, because how could you allow these things to happen to a child in their innocence? How could that be? I was upset. But I also got to the point where, as I got older, I began to understand certain things, because things started to transform in my life. Things started happening where I was able to, and it took a while. It took a while for this to unfold. When they say it's a journey, this is a journey. This is a real life journey to your purpose, to your path, to who you're meant to be, to why you are here. It's a journey. So it took a while for things to unfold. It took a while for me to understand. Spiritual awakening started to happen. Okay? Back in 2019, 2020, spiritual awakening started to happen. But look how late you wake up. At least it make you feel like you late. And most of the time you'll feel that way. You're really not. It's you're not late. You're really right on time. You're where you're supposed to be, because you'll always be led to your path. Whichever way you go, whether it's good consequences or bad, because that's the balance of life. Good and bad, good and evil, light and dark. Okay? So you would find out that, it is what it is. When it comes to balancing out the good from the bad, you can't put anything in the box. You have to take it and utilize the energy the best way you can to transmute that energy and turn it into something positive for yourself. That's not always easy. That is not easy to do. But see, the thing is, in those ages, that 10-year period of 6 to 16 is where it all happens at. It doesn't feel like it's happening for you. It feels like it's happening to you, because you got to go through a lot of damaging. It's like you got to get damaged, and then you got to turn around and you got to heal yourself, recover. Then you have to cleanse you, detox you. There's a lot of spiritual awakening that happens. Then there's a lot of detoxing that happens, and your body will do it on its own. If you the kind of person you're not sure what the symptoms are, well, I can share the symptoms I had. I can share that. Maybe it'll make sense to you. I had symptoms of nausea all the time. I didn't want anything to eat. The smell of food would turn my stomach, especially fast food. It made me feel sick to the stomach to smell food cooking. I didn't want food for days at a time, 2, 3, 4 days at a time. I didn't want any food. I didn't have an appetite. Okay? Of course, the synchronicities continue to come all the time. But it was certain times I started to wake up 4:44 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. I start waking up 11:11 in the morning, 10:10, and you start feeling energetically that something is different. You just don't know what it is. You can't quite put your finger on it. But you know something is happening because you can energetically, spiritually, so you can feel it. Okay? And so those are some of the symptoms. The nausea, the headaches even. You can get a headache 2 days straight. A headache can last. It's feelings. It's just energy to where you are elevating. You are ascending. And you really do have to kind of be in a pure state. So it's good not to eat. The body do it on its own. I know my body did. It did it on its own. I didn't have to try not to eat anything. I didn't want anything. I had no appetite whatsoever, days at a time. But I started to understand what was happening. It took a while, but I started to understand what was happening. Then I started to try and exercise and learning how to meditate. That felt very different. But there were things happening in my life as well. In the 3D life, things were falling apart too. That happens to chosen seeds. And you have to find a way to keep yourself motivated. That's not always easy to do, but motivation is the most, I can say, it's the most important thing for you. It's the thing that's going to get you through it. knowing how to motivate yourself regardless of what's falling apart around you, because you will experience that. Things can fall apart around you because the old has to fall, which is a tower moment. The old has to fall so the new can be built. It's a lot of detoxing that happens when your body shuts down. You don't have an appetite. I wouldn't say shut down, but your body pretty much does its own thing. It's an awakening. So energetically, your blood is flowing, and the energies are connecting, and then you got your chakras and things that get in alignment, and then you start detoxing and eating different and drinking different. It all plays a part. It's an automatic thing that the body will start to do on its own, and it's like a reset. Yes, it's like a reset. Like, where you readjust from the inside. Because I started doing vitamins and black seed oil and all this different kind of things. Started learning more about herbs and teas. I started doing all kind of stuff that I wasn't doing before. And it's like I stepped back. I had to step back outside myself and say, what's happening? Something's happening. Then I remember an instant where I ended up giving back a vehicle, and instead of it being repossessed, the dealership that fixed it and refused to fix it anymore because they didn't want to acknowledge the warranty on the vehicle. And another lady went and she found the warranty for me in the system, so they had to fix the vehicle because I was still paying a note on it. And so they ended up sending me a letter and letting me know they would not fix this vehicle again. And the next time, if it happens again, I would have to pay out of pocket. And what happened, I ended up getting a letter in the mail. Instead of me having to worry about paying the note and it's a possibility they're going to repo my vehicle, that didn't happen. The Most High Mother and Father made it to where I received a letter from a whole another dealership where I did not get the vehicle from, and they were asking me to come in and do a trade-in. And I'm still on the point where things were falling apart. Things were falling away. I was starting to lose things. Okay, and these were things that were no longer serving. These were things that were considered blockages at the time. And I didn't know that, but when you awaken, these are the things you learn along your journey. What that was, why did that happen? The reason why it had to happen so something else could take place. These are the things you start to see. Third eye. You start to see through your problems. You can see through them and understand what this is about, why this is happening. So long story short, I got the letter and they offered me to come get a brand new vehicle, but I knew that wouldn't be a good idea. So the high priestess stepped up. That energy, okay, very intuitive. You know that's not a good idea. You must think logically at this time. Okay, Queen of Swords. We must think logically. We're going to, do what is necessary at this time. So when I got the letter, they offered me to trade in the vehicle. What I decided was they offered to pay off the vehicle that I had currently, okay, and I knew that would be a better way to go than to allow a repossession. So I let them have the vehicle. They paid it off completely. It showed up as paid off on my credit. I was grateful for that. But to my friend, they looked at me as if that was a loss. That's not a loss. I was already motivated. I could see what was happening in my situation, and I could see that it was working out for my good. And that was the part of me. That's the faith in me. That was the willpower in me. That was my strength saying, you got to stand on business. 7 of Wands. You got to stand on that. Stand on the faith. Stand on the hope. Keep the faith. Motivate yourself because you do see through it. This is working for me. As long as I keep acknowledging the Most High Mother and Father, I'm protected. Everything I have is protected. What's no longer needed will fall away. And I watched it fall away. And it did not hurt me at all for it to fall away. Because I was going with the flow. That's what you have to understand when things are going bad in your life. And I don't even say going bad. I would say when things are changing, when you're in transition, when things start to change, because change is going to keep happening. Change is going to happen throughout your journey. Change will happen when things need to be adjusted, okay? Spiritually, emotionally, financially, physically, mentally. When things need to be adjusted, change will begin to happen. There will be a shift. And it's up to you to keep that motivation while you go through those changes. Stay as motivated as possible. Are you going to be able to do it every single day? No, that's just not reality. The reality is sometimes worry can set in. That's when affirmations come up. That's what your affirmations are for. I am an overcomer. I can do this. This is already done. I believe that it's already done. Okay? And give thanks to to the Most High Mother and Father for assisting you with getting through your transition. Give thanks. Gratitude. And that is a high vibration. Gratitude. Affirmation, that is a high vibration. That helps you to think differently. It changes your perspective of what looks like is a horrible situation. It can help change the perspective to where, you know what, this is happening because it's supposed to be happening because something else is trying to come in. And that something else is more likely going to be better than what you had. But you have to see it that way. It's something about being able to accept that and see it that way. Okay, chosen ones? And I'm hoping that I'm making sense to you here. So the ages of 6 to 16, like we say, that's when this 10-year span happens. And you're talking about tens. Tens is normally the endings and the beginnings. Okay, you got like the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is endings. It's also betrayal. These are the things you deal with within that 6 to 16, 10-year period, from the age of 6 years old to 16. These are the things that you would deal with, a Ten of Swords energy. People being cutthroat, people being nasty nice, people having a low-key issue with you, don't like you, things like that. Then it cuts into your willpower, it cuts into your confidence, it cuts into your stability. You feel unstable all the time. It seems like no matter what you do, you just can't make those achievements. That's because people are going against you in the spirit. Alright? Now, I don't know if anybody ever experienced this. I know I have, where sometimes spirits try to hold you down while you sleep. Sometimes they try to leave scratches on you, like you be in another realm when you unconscious. Sometimes unconscious sleep, you be in another realm, and sometimes warfare is going on, and you can encounter unknown scratches and stuff. You wake up, you have scratches on your arm, and you trying to figure out where did that come from, because spiritually you've been in a fight. That's where it comes from. And that's that Ten of Swords energy in the first 10 years between the age of 6 and 16. A lot of betrayal. A lot of, I feel like, sacrifices. Negative, low vibrational sacrifices made by other people who's supposed to have been family members. Or it doesn't have to be family members. It could be a friend wishing bad upon you. But most of the time, around those ages, you are born into a family. But that family don't feel like it's people that you belong with. Okay? You see cousins you ain't probably never seen before. You see a cousin that you don't know y'all related, but instead of finding out y'all related, you find out this person can't stand you. They don't even like you. Just the presence of you, just you walking up and showing up in the room, they rolling their eyes at you. Ten of Swords energy. Don't like you, can't stand you, disrespect you, say little ugly things to you. We're talking about your childhood here. People taking advantage, being a bully. Grown people too. Doing things they ain't got no business, causing trauma in your life. Okay? Some of y'all dealt with domestic violence in the house. Some of you might have lost people close to you and in those ages, on that age range. 6 to 16. You may have lost people close to you. a mother, a dad, a grandparent, somebody you was used to, somebody who you was close to, who you could talk to. You chosen seeds. You have to deal with loss, lots of loss and sacrifice. People making you a sacrifice, and you don't know nothing about it, and that's why life is so hard. Folks then wished it bad upon you, sending them spirits to you to keep you down in life. Then you have a 10 of Wands. That's burdens. That's the next 10 years of your life. Because see, the whole time you're going through this, you don't know what's going on. You don't know that you're chosen. See, you haven't waken up yet. You walking around kind of, like everybody else. On what they call autopilot. You don't know who you are yet, so you got to go through these things. That 10 of Swords energy, that 10 of Wands energy. You got to go through these. That's like 10, 20. That's a good 20 years right there. That you deal with that as a chosen seed. I mean, you're gonna come out the fire, as purity gold, but that ain't how it start. And you got to get there. And it's not always easy, especially you don't have anybody to talk to about what you're going through. Because for one, they ain't listening to nothing you say. Ain't nobody paying attention to you. Okay? They don't want to hear nothing about your little dreams. You young, you a kid, you don't know nothing about no dreams. Little things that said to you that just breaks your little confidence. It breaks it. It damages it. Damages your little hopes and your faith. See? Them spirits be after you, and folks let them spirits use them. And they use them spirits use them same folks against you. Normally it's the ones closest to you. Family, people. That's what I experienced myself. And I know someone else have experienced it too. Somebody watching, you tuned into this video because you could relate. And I know more than likely you had folks that did these things to you, betrayed you, talked bad to you, or counted you out, made you feel like you was less than, or you wasn't worth, having around, or you did something wrong. You were dealing with this for family people, cousins and sometimes sisters and brothers. Sometimes, like I said, it be a mama or dad, and don't have a step parent because that step parent can't stand you. They hate you. They can't stand you because you belong to somebody else, and you are an interruption in this relationship. Chosen seed. You are the interruption. At least that's how they make you feel. At least they say little things like that to hurt your feelings. Nobody wants you around. You're a kid, and you dealing with that. That's damaging, especially with people you're supposed to be born into a family with. That's damaging. Then when certain ones turn their back, the other ones want to start doing things they ain't got no business. That's damaging as well. We know what we're talking about. We ain't got to get into detail. Folks that can't keep their hands to themselves when it comes to children. That's damaging to a child. It can also be traumatizing. When a child lose a parent or something like that, also it could be traumatizing. Those are traumas that you have to find a way to heal from. You got to do it. You got to pick up the pieces. Healing abandonment issues. Healing bad habits and addictions. Yeah. Healing rejection. It's a lot of healing you have to do. And the thing is, are you able to carry out that assignment? Do you think you can do it? Do you think you got the strength to go a little further? Because, see, it's other people that need you. It's other people that need you, yeah? And the enemy don't play fair. He gets you while you're a child. He attack you while you're a child. Because that's your innocence. He want to instill a lot of fear into you. Because where fear lies, if you full of fear, you just stumbling over your own foot every time you look around. You're afraid of everything. It can make your nervous system within your body. We talking inner now, the innermost part of you. It can make your nervous system all out of whack, and you can end up having nightmares and These nasty people want to send these evil spirits to chase you down in your dreams. You having nightmares, you know. These are the things that you go through as a chosen one, because they're trying to stop you. They talk about you, okay? Call your names, make you feel unwanted, unwelcome, no support system. Some of you, like I said, you was left unprotected as a child and folks got a hold to you and did things they ain't had no business. You the one that had to pick up the pieces on that. You had to go heal that on your own. That's why you're chosen, because you have been equipped by the Most High Mother and Father to be able to do that, to be able to make those adjustments, to be able to pick up the pieces, to be able to self-motivate. You've been given the tools, but when you're in the low vibration in those early years, you don't know the tools that you possess. You don't realize the gifts you possess. Now, some people do begin to tap into their gifts early. Okay, so don't think that everybody don't know what their gifts is until they get, grown. Majority of people do. It take up until those years to have an awakening to experience and begin to accept and acknowledge and understand your gifts. Okay. So yeah, it's like this is the thing about being chosen. A lot of it, when in those younger years, a lot of depression sets in. You feel isolated from people. You'll be around them, but you really don't want to be around them. But you don't have a choice. You're a kid. You young. You can't voice your opinion. I ain't coming around y'all today. Somebody being grab the belt, they ready to whip you. You being smart. So when you're a kid, you really can't voice your opinion about being around people. You got to go with the flow. And that's not always easy, but it plays a part. Okay. And it's nothing worse than feeling like I've been born into a family that these people are not my family, man. It's too much going on. This ain't making no sense here. Then sometimes you can end up having identity issues, because there's nothing being illustrated. Some of us, when we came up, we didn't come up with our mom. We didn't come up with our dad. We came up with cousins and aunties and uncles. Some of us came up with foster parents and stuff like that. And a lot of times, those are ones that have it the worst, it seems, but it's really bad either way it goes. When you are a chosen one, period, overall, speaking in general, okay, you're going to have devils and entities and monitoring spirits. They're going to be after you because they know your destiny. They know where you're headed. They feel like they got to do everything they can to stop you so you don't get there. But the plan is for you to get there anyway, because you don't know the powers that you possess. You don't know the strengths, the inner strengths that you possess. These are things you got to unlock. It's like you got to figure these things out about yourself. Pay attention to yourself. And that's why I say, anytime you start experiencing an awakening, you can experience an awakening very early as well as in your adulthood, because there are people who experience awakenings and stuff like that in those years, 16, 17 years old, 18 years old. Okay, everybody's on different timelines. It works different for everybody, but you still got to take that same pathway. That's that pathway to light, the pathway to purpose, to healing and helping humanity. Okay, how? Because you can't do it yourself. Everybody needs somebody. But the thing about a chosen person is that because of your inner strength, because of the level of endurance that you possess, the powers, the gifts that you possess, that you may not know anything about, that's why things are such a torment at a young age. Because these things are meant for you to learn, wisen up from, and strengthen yourself from. Sometimes it go a whole nother direction and it happens later because things don't happen when it's supposed to happen. Because we get distracted or other things just go on in our lives or something we don't understand. We don't look into it, we just surpass it. We don't look into it to figure it out. But you got to be hungry for the knowledge to know who you are. What are your gifts? You could have plenty of gifts of teaching, of healing, dealing with herbs. It doesn't matter. You can have plenty of gifts. You never know. A spiritual leader, a spiritual counselor. You don't know. But you have them. And like I said, to identify that place where I can consider myself a chosen one, mostly it's because of the turmoil that you experience as a child. You learn it, and I learned it as early as 6 years old, 7 years old. I learned it early. I learned heartbreak very early. That's why I can say I know that part about it is for certain. Because I was that 6 year old. I was that 7 year old. And there was a part of me that didn't want to be here. Didn't want to be here. After my mother was murdered, I wanted to go wherever she went. I was a kid. I was innocent. I don't want to be without my mother. But I didn't have a choice at that point. Okay? And even with all the turmoil and the hurt and the pain, the trauma, the depression, things that set in, that grows within you until you learn differently. Even though these things happen, it still doesn't make you anyone special over the other. It's just that you have an assignment, and your assignment is to go out and help heal people who have been through the same things you have been through, who may feel uncertain or a little lost. You don't know where people are when you meet them. You could talk to a person and they may be on the verge of suicide, and because you let them know that you are a spiritual counselor, they feel a little bit more comfortable now. They feel like they can talk to you. You can give them advice of where they are because you've been there. Now they feel they have somebody they can open up to. You don't know where your gifts will take you. You don't know who you will meet. You don't know exactly what it is you will be doing. But whatever it is a service to humanity when it comes to healing, when it comes to awakening. There's a certain level to all of this, and everybody's on different timelines, but it's one and the same. People, we need each other. I got to know, if did you experience this, and if you did, what did you do? How did you do that? Okay, because for me, they swore that I would end up in a mental institution. That's what they said. That's where you were supposed to go. You were supposed to go to a mental institution. And they said it without words, because that's just how intuitive I've become. I have people that didn't expect me to make it this far in life. They judged me by where I came from. They judged me according to my upbringing, my childhood, and they thought they knew where I was going. They thought they knew my life, where it was headed. And to their surprise, and they don't even know I recognize them feeling this way or thinking like this towards me. But to their surprise, I'm someone who they never knew. You don't know who I am. You don't know who I am. And it doesn't make me better than you, but I have a lot more knowledge on certain levels because of the things that I've experienced versus someone who didn't experience those things. Then they couldn't possibly have the damage from those things. And it's nothing that feels good. It is a lot of a rude awakening. Excuse me, y'all. It's a lot of a rude awakening. It's a lot of turmoil. It's a lot of tower moments in your life. A lot of adjustments. A lot of uprooting and moving here and moving there, from pillar to post, from place to place. It's all uncomfortable. And that's where you feel like you don't belong. It's all uncomfortable. But it's for your inner strength. It's for your learning. It's for you to take the lessons with you and share with someone else. So they know, hey, I can come out of this. I can be better. I can heal. You know, I can learn how to do this for myself. I can actually come out of this. Is there a way out of this? And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But it's your assignment. It's the assignment. Um, it's like I'm having a hard time speaking. Cause some of y'all, like I say, when you were younger, you didn't have a voice. You were dared to say anything, even if something was wrong. You better not say nothing about it. Some of you experienced telling someone that you had been touched in the wrong way. They did absolutely nothing about it. It was as if you were left to defend yourself. It was as if you were left to take care of your own self, protect yourself the best way you could. And then people wonder why you end up with certain ways of carrying yourself. They don't understand your paranoia. They don't understand your mood swings. They don't get it. They say something wrong with you. That's how they put it off. That's how they project it. Something's wrong with you. You got a problem. Why you waking up screaming? Because they don't have a clue what you done seen. They don't have a clue what you done been through. They don't have a clue about the violence and stuff that you suffered. They don't have a clue. They haven't been where you've been. So to them, you're foreign. Something's wrong with you. You need to go see a psychiatrist or something. Because that's how I had family people looking at me. I had people making fun and laughing. They thought it was funny. Because they were ignorant to what was going on. They don't know who they are. And they don't know who I am. I didn't know who I was. So where was I to go from there? As a kid, you are spiritually connected, but there's a lot of things you're not aware of. Okay, because all children have a sense of spirituality, and it's simply because of their little imaginations. Children can get in the corner and play all by themselves, have a whole family setting going on over there, and you would think it's more than one child over there. It's just one child. Their imagination and took them way on from over here. Imagination is everything. It helps to create, and we as chosen ones, you have to learn how to transmute energies as well. And most chosen seeds, they don't go around exploiting people. I'm glad I thought of that. Thank you, Spirit. People think that you trying to exploit who you are. Most chosen seeds, you don't know who they are because they don't want to be exploited. They don't want people to know anything because they know how dangerous it is. Most chosen seeds, they don't go around telling people, hey, I'm chosen. Hey, look at me. Hey, I'm chosen and you not. Hey, look at me. Hey, over here, you see me? They're not attention seekers. Chosen ones are not attention seekers. They are more of a hermit than an attention seeker. They're a homebody. They want to stay inside. They don't want to go to the store around the crowd. They don't want to go to the family gathering. They don't want to go to the party. And if they go, they're not going to stay long. They're going to make sure they say hello to everybody and, show their face, but they're going to bow out early because I'd rather be in my space. I can't be around all these people. I got to be in my space. And that's a chosen seed. You don't want people to know who you are. You're not going to go flaunt that off. You're not going to exploit that at all because you know the dangers of that. You know it's best for you to be unknown. You know this because you've experienced people knowing who you are without you even knowing who you were. But because they knew, they had it in for you. They had it in for you. I have bodily damage from family members when I was young trying to hurt me as a kid. That's sad. But they were being controlled by demonic energies, demonic spirits. I could see it in their laugh. I could see how they fix their face. Have a face like the Joker. I ain't talking about the paint or nothing. It's just the fixture of their face. Wicked. and you can see right through it and make you afraid of them. As a child, that's what the enemy wants to do, instill fear into you. Because if you're full of fear and you're afraid, then you'll fold. You understand? That's the concept. It's to get you to fold. It's to make you melt in fear and run and go hide. Never have no self-esteem and no security about yourself, no safety about yourself. Want you to feel isolated and unsafe, unprotected, misled, damaged. Nobody wants you. Nobody needs you. You're not good enough. All those are attacks. All that is to keep you drowning in that low vibrational state where the enemy can keep pulling on you and pulling on you and pulling on you and using you for a spiritual punching bag. Some of it is physical. It's a lot that chosen ones have to endure. The endurance level is great. This is not fun. No. It's not fun. It's far from fun. Especially when it's time for the endurance part. That's nothing good about that. It's a horrible feeling. It's very, very low vibrational scarcity mindset, poverty set. It's hell. It's hell. Surrounded by bad vibes. Surrounded by hateful people that don't even want you in the room. And it ain't got nothing to do with you. It's your energy. They hate it. They don't, you irritate their demons. They don't like it. You can tell when a person's irritated by you. They get to talking all out their head, being loud and immature, and it'll make you look back at them like, man, what's wrong with them? You know, what's up with that? You can tell when people's demons are irritated by you. They get to being loud and aggressive and talking about nothing, calling on entities and things like that. Speaking in some kind of a tongues. They get to doing all kind of outrageous things when you're around. Because your energy, that light shines on them and they hate it. It's like if you think about a movie, you take a vampire and you open the window on him and the sun is shining, he gonna take cover. He trying to cover himself from the sun. That light, it hurts him. It damages him. It'll burn him up. And that's how it is. You burn them demons. When they see you coming, they can't stand you because your light is shining. That's why chosen ones, they don't exploit that they chosen. They know how to keep their business to themselves. They know how to be silent. They know when to speak and when not to speak, when to present, when not to present. And ain't no being loud to it. Chosen one's not loud. You don't want to be seen. Even though it's your mission to be seen, it's a part of your assignment, but you would rather not. You don't like attention like that. Not chosen one. Because you got to be careful about who's in your energy, who's around you. And that intuition within you as you mature, as you grow, as you learn, as you endure, as you persevere, as you push through and recover. Whatever you go through, the things that you start to encounter and learn about spirituality, the awakenings that you have, these are things that will equip you and take you through to where you can walk in a room and immediately you know when there's a bad spirit in the room. You can feel it energetically. That's how sensitive you'll be. Immediately. You don't have to say a word to nobody. Ain't nobody got to say a word to you. You pick it up. It's so easy to pick it up. But it's because of what you learned. It's because of what you endured. It's because of that inner strength that you have that have made you sensitive enough to pick up on things that are not for your highest good. be it people, places, situation, music, whatever it is, events, whatever it is, you'll pick it up. Because them symptoms, different people have different symptoms. Some people, they get so stopped up, they can't even breathe when it comes to awakenings. And like I say, you lose appetite, you lose a lot of weight. Sometimes you might forget to go in there and brush your teeth. You gotta be like, man, I ain't comb my hair today. Brush my teeth. Get yourself together. Go in there, shower up, get all good looking and everything, whatever you want to do. Get freshened up, and you look at yourself and you like, man, what's going on? And you still trying to figure it out. Awakenings are they're mental tower moments, but they're good moments because it's a moment of aha. Okay. Oh wow, that's what that meant. Dang, that's why they acted like that. You're steady growing, you're steady learning, you're steady understanding, you're steady, having awakenings. And awakenings, it's amazing how you can connect with the spirit world. It's amazing and it's fun where it could put you in your childlike energy. It could become a fun thing, because that's where you find your space, your place, your sanctuary. It's connected to the Most High Mother and Father, connected to your spiritual team, connected to the Most High. You feel better, you feel safe, you feel loved, you feel wanted, because these are the things you start to give to yourself. You got to give it to you first. You got to build yourself up first. Mentally, you got to grow. Spiritually, you got to grow. You got to change your mindset. Because most of us been conditioned to all this religious stuff. You've been conditioned for many, many years until you find out the truth, like I did, and it'll blow your mind. And it'll make you upset too, to some extent. What? All this time, as faithful as I've been, as dedicated as I was as a member, you start thinking about things. You start to put things together. You start to, get answers. You start to read up on more things. Doors begin to open. Information begins to flow to you easily. And before you know it, you deep into your spirituality, in which you should be. Because it's the spirit part of you that's going to carry you. It's the spiritual part of you that needs to grow, that needs to be strong. Okay? That's why a lot of times people develop rituals. Yeah, they're rituals to keep up your strength. They're rituals to keep monitoring spirits out of your energy and negative spirits out of your energy that doesn't belong. See, people want to think rituals, oh, that's demonic. Oh, you're not supposed to do that. That's demonic. No, following false doctrine can be demonic. But learning who you are and growing spiritually is not demonic. Knowing how to break generational curses is not demonic. It takes a ritual to conjure up a curse. So it's going to take a ritual to break that curse that's been conjured up. See, spirit have to come against spirit. You can't take the natural physical body and go against the spirit. Guess who's going to lose? Okay? You got to be on the same frequency, the same vibration in order to win the battle. In order to win your fight, because you're going to deal with spiritual warfare. Yes, you're going to deal with spiritual warfare. Because these are the things that will also strengthen you, because you're going to need that strength. Because healing never stops. You learn something new about yourself. You begin to accept who you are. You stop letting people make you think that you're not good enough. You're not brave enough. You're not smart enough. You don't have what it takes. Yes, you do. And that's the reason why you were chosen. Because the Most High does give the hardest battles to his greatest warrior. And that warrior is a warrior that can actually stand the rain. You can stand the pain. You can endure. You can take the pressure. You can operate under pressure. You know what to do. Everybody have their part to play when it comes to the spirit realm. Everybody have their position. You may be in this position, I may be in that position, but it doesn't make one better than the other. The thing is, we're a team. And we work together to get rid of negative energies, entities, monitoring spirits, demons, whatever they are, whoever they're trying to be. We are a team. We're supposed to do this together, do the rituals together, because the more together you are, the more taller you can stand, the more firm the foundation. We're all working on the same thing, and that's healing people, helping people to come out of lack mindset, telling you if you need 10 times a day, you can do it. Get you a spiritual bath. This is how to do it. Clear your energy. This is how to do it. Protect yourself. This is how to do it. Detox your body. This is how to do it. That's helping one another, giving good and valid information. That's very valid and it's very vital. It brings life. There's a lot to being a chosen one. Your assignment is great and you are needed. Every single last one of you. You are needed because there are millions of people in the world who are suffering from their traumas and they don't know how to come out of it. And then you have teenagers committing suicide because they don't have nobody to talk to. Nobody's listening. Nobody can see them. Everybody is raging at them, screaming and yelling at them, being aggressive to them, counting them off, writing them off, pushing them out to the streets, not trying to understand, don't want to understand, have a bad understanding. That's not the way to be, and that's what chosen seeds are for. You have to stand in the gap for that missing father. You have to stand in the gap for that missing mother. You got to stand in the gap for that missing sister or that brother, that friend, that co-worker, that lover. These are people that may have damaged your brother, damaged your sister. So we gotta work together as a team so we can hold on to our healing. Heal what needs to be healed. Face the demon. Face the darkness. You're not facing it alone. You're never alone. You are never alone. Nope. You may feel that way, and it's okay to feel it for the moment, but come on up out of there. Come on up out of there. You don't have to feel like you're by yourself because you're not in this by yourself. You have brothers and sisters all over the world who are fighting the same fight. It's just that we're scattered abroad. We're fighting the same fight. We speak them same rituals of releasing fear, releasing vulnerability, releasing negative attachments, releasing negative energies, releasing unforgiveness, releasing self-doubt. We're all over the world and we're all talking about these same rituals. We're all practicing these same rituals, and that's the reason why more generational curses are being broken, more people are being healed, more people are awakening, and more people are accepting who they really truly are. They're starting to walk more in their truth because, well, my brother is walking in his truth. And he's a chosen seed just like me. It's like you got to have somebody you relate to. Whoever's watching, sometimes maybe you just feel down because you don't have nobody in your environment or your community that you can relate to. Because when you're a chosen seed and you start to try to talk to people who are just not there, they're not awakened, these same people, no matter who they are, will make you feel like you're delusional. Something's wrong with you. They want everybody to see you as some kind of basket case or you got a mind problem. They start saying little ugly things to make it seem like you are mentally unstable. And they'll make a joke of it, and it's simply because they don't understand. They haven't been where you've been. People, literally, it's real. You have to walk in somebody's shoes in order to understand where they have been. But even as a chosen seed, you have enough sympathy in your, you have enough sympathy in your heart to where you can feel the depths of a person's sorrow and pain. You're an empath. You can feel it. And that's the part of you that has been strengthened, it has been built, it has been developed so that you can spew out that information that that person needs from you. So now they can become strong and they can move forward. And healing can begin. That my throat keep on getting that way, but I'm gonna keep on saying what I need to say. Y'all excuse me. I'm gonna put the message out there because it needs to be out there. The assignment of a chosen one. It's not an easy assignment. It can be very difficult. It can even make you want to give up on the whole process. Because sometimes you can lose your vision. Sometimes you can lose your mental state. It can get cloudy. It can, especially if you're out here busy and trying to live this life, trying to figure this thing out. Because you got to remember it's chess and not checkers, right? Chess is a very complicated game. It comes easy to some and not so easy to others. But once it's learned, you can apply it to different areas of your life as well. And that's called mastery. And a lot of us, we have come so far from childhood, we made it through the traumas, we got through it, and we developed, we self-developed, we eliminated things that no longer served, then we started to grow in the spirit. And now we're having our experiences of spiritual awakenings and understandings and sharing information with each other. Because that's what it's going to take for that community to grow. We got to share the information with one another. I got to tell you what to do if you don't know something or if you're unsure about something. You should be able to ask me, well, how did that become, or how did you get through that? What did you do? How were you able to do it that way? But it's someone you can collaborate with, someone you can relate to, and they'll tell you, they'll talk to you, yet at the same time very compassionate and care about you as a person, as a spiritual being having a human experience. That person genuinely cares about what you've been through, and that's the type of energy that carries out, that will help to build the community no matter how far apart we are. Okay? I had wrote some things down so that I don't forget, but a lot of the stuff I didn't even say because it's already, I feel like it's understood to a certain extent. If you are chosen, your assignment is great. That's the whole deal. You chose this video, you watched this video according to that title, then there was something here for you. The ascension feelings, I told you how that goes. Yours could be different. Like I said, loss of appetite, headachy, stopped up, nausea. Nausea came a lot for me. Nausea. I ain't want to go toward no kitchen. I just wanted to take a shower after work and get in the bed. I ain't want to go through no kitchen and to no kitchen. And you do a lot of sleeping too. Okay? And you start being led and guided spiritually. You start being guided. You start being led to different types of meditation. Anything you tap into that you can connect with energetically that's going to be beneficial to your growth, you're going to be guided to tap in further, and you're going to start finding out things and answers and stuff like that to your particular situation, circumstances, answers, questions, whatever it is, questions that you may have, things you may not understand. You start being guided to do certain things. Just go with the flow. Don't be in resistance. Okay? Because the question is, are you sure you want the assignment? Can you stand the test of time? Can you stand the rain? Because most of us that is on a certain age span, you already been through that part where you had to grow from it. Most of us have been there, but there are still people who go through that. The part where you got to endure. Because like I said, you got that 10 of swords, That's 10 years there. 10 years of your life and growing and being betrayed and things like that. The 10 of wands, the burdens. You know, when you're a child, there's not a whole lot you can do with what's going on around you. But then another 10, 20 years pass, like I said, those awakenings start to happen, where you start loving yourself more, giving to yourself more, building your character, feeding yourself spiritually, developing rituals, developing affirmations, things that can help build your confidence and the love for self. You start learning different things. It brings you into a whole nother cycle. By the time you get into your late 30s and your early 40s, it brings you into a whole lot of cycle because of all the releasing that has been done. All of the negativity and things that you may have turned away from, people that you may have turned away from and decided you no longer wanted them in your energy. Being honest about who's for you and who's not for you. And those who not for you, you cut them off. These are the things that starts to happen, and it has to do with your development. It has to do with your character, your authenticity. Because you don't want to deal with people who's fake. You don't want to deal with people who's superficial. You don't want to deal with people who don't know how to have fun, who don't know how to have a sense of humor. You don't want to deal with people that's full of drama and mess and never have anything good to say to others. You don't want to be around stuff like that. You stay as far away from stuff like that as possible. Energetically, you automatically do it. You automatically know not to do it, not to entertain anybody or go around anybody when it comes to low vibrating energies. These are things you already know. 10 of Cups, that's love for you. 10 of Pentacles, that's having yourself together, you know, being independent or being single and you know, yet figuring out this path, this purpose that you have. Okay, and it goes into that Wheel of Fortune. Okay, that's some tens. 10 years at a time of your life that you go through different cycles, you go through different phases when you are a chosen one. When adulthood starts, you start realizing or even being told, or you start having different things to happen, events to take place where people will come to you and ask you advice and they don't even know you. Okay? And you'll find out you are a spiritual teacher, you are a spiritual leader, you are a spiritual counselor or a spiritual guru, you know. You are to help these particular people that come your way. You have an assignment to help a certain amount of people, and that is your purpose in life. That is your reason for being here. That's why you went through all the things you went through. But we know it wasn't good, it wasn't pretty. A lot of the things you had to go through and endure was horrible. Horrible things that most people wouldn't be able to bounce back from. Then you realize your gifts. Okay, you got gifts of insight, you know, gifts of intuition that continues to grow. Being able to foresee, being able to help people and help them to get through as you have came through yourself. So somebody here who's watching the video right now, you know, this may be some confirmation for you. You know, you just maybe wanted to know what are you going through. Is someone else going through the same thing, or have anyone else been through this? Maybe, like I say, a lot of times you cannot talk to people who you live with. You can't talk to people you related to. You can't talk to, because they don't understand where you at. They don't understand that most people are not spiritual. They're religious. They don't tap into spirituality. Okay? If anything, they're going to misjudge you and misunderstand you terribly. But that's why you be led and guided to isolation, where you're keeping people out of your business. You like a lot of your alone time to yourself, you know, because you need that. You don't have anybody that understands where you're going or what you got going or whatever, where you've been, but they'll turn around and they'll judge you for it and name call and, you know, label you and all this other mess because of stuff that they're not into or they don't tap into, And also they've been taught that what you're doing as far as spirituality is demonic. Okay? Because people have different belief systems. And a lot of times, the chosen one, you will fall away from the false doctrine. You're going to fall away from it. Somebody listening right now, you're a part of the doctrine, but you may not realize or know what it is you need to know at this point. But when you do get that download, when you do have that moment, you're going to recognize it. And it's going to cause you to fall away from certain things and people, environments, even communities sometimes. It just depends on your awakening and what you're awakening to, as far as the level that you're on, you know. And more people are becoming more spiritual too, and that helps in the spirit realm. Okay, when we're doing our part to fight, and then you have angels in the spirit realm, they're doing their part. Okay, because it's going on all the time. It's just you can't see the spiritual realm with the natural eye. It's going on all the time. That's why it's good to stay prayed up. That's why it's good to keep your energy clear. That's why it's good not to be around certain people. Okay, that's why it's good to detox. Okay, it's good because it keeps you open telepathically. It'll keep you clear where you can receive messages. You can receive, you know, learning how to meditate. It's just getting somewhere and getting quiet. Be quiet. Sit with yourself. Listen to your own heartbeat. Relax within yourself. Relax with yourself, your own company. It's certain things that you'll begin to learn and tap into. And it can be quite fun. It can be quite adventurous to learn of yourself. Learn who you are. You are of a royal priesthood. Learn who you are. If you don't know that, you can't act royal if you don't know you're royal. If you just been brought up in low poverty the whole time and you don't know what it's like to be treated good or live good, that's not your fault. But the thing is, as you grow into it and you tap into it spiritually, you realize that sovereignty is your birthright. Having a good life is your birthright. Having more than enough and being abundant is your birthright. Okay? These are the things that you will learn. You'll begin to pick up on these things. So I hope something was said that could give you guys some answers or some type of confirmations. There was something else too when you're going through ascension. Sometimes you can even have dizzy spells when you're going through ascensions, along with headaches. It's different for everybody when you're ascending. But I know that loss of appetite, that's one big deal. You're going to notice it. If you have loss of appetite, you're going to notice it. And you're probably not going to want to eat any meat. You're not going to have, it's going to turn your stomach. It will make you sick to the stomach just to smell it. I know that's what happened with me. But like I said, everybody's different. So the assignment, just be I could say go with the flow. Do not be in resistance when it comes to your assignment, because the greater reward is yet to come, and there is reward, and it's like we just got to continue to fight. One thing you cannot do is give up on your spirituality. You cannot give up on your gifts. You cannot give up on your purpose. Don't do it, because at the end of the rainbow, so to speak, there is a pot of gold. And it has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with authenticity, unconditional love, which is the highest vibration to be in. Dealing with people who are like-minded, who are down to earth. Okay, people who are open to doing things that will help themselves on a spiritual level. People who are interested in breaking spiritual curses and low vibrational energies, breaking generational curses and things like that. You will begin to find those people. You will begin to connect with the people who believe in what you believe in. Because the belief systems is totally off here in the 3D. There's been so much false doctrine and things like that to get people to believe a certain way that's only beneficial to another man himself in the flesh. Okay? We want to do what benefits that's to the liking and the benefit of humanity, to help people. There are people who need help. They really do. And I hope that whoever's watching, I hope that you have been helped. I hope that you will continue to move forward and be strong, because if you're in a level where you're trying to endure, it's not going to be easy. Endurance is the hardest part, other than trying to forgive people for what they've done in your healing stage. But before that, the endurance is what, that's the hardest part, the endurance. The things that are actually going to make you strong inwardly. Okay? And I just can't say it enough. I hope someone was helped. I hope someone got some kind of closure, some kind of confirmation, understanding, or something. I hope someone got something out of this. Okay? Because the assignment is real. Your assignment is to help other people heal, teach other people spirituality, help them, teach them, lead them, guide them as you have been led, as you have been guided by the Most High Mother and Father. You'll know if you're doing the right thing or not, because it'll make you feel good to do it. If someone needs your advice, or if someone calls and they need somebody to talk to, and you may be the very one to talk them out of suicide. You just talk them out of taking their own lives. You never know what part you could play. You could talk to a person and you could talk them out of having an abortion. You never know who you may encounter. So it's important for us to continue on our path and do the necessary work when it comes to healing and forgiving and affirmations and self-motivation, inspiration to others. Just do it, because it's gonna pay off in a way which we know not of, but it's a great thing. It's something that will pay off, that will be helpful to other people, that can save people's lives, keep them from killing themselves because no one understands, or they don't feel like they belong, or their dad hates them, or their mom hates them, or they're not welcome back home anymore. So they on the streets, they ain't got nowhere to go because they're not welcome at the house because of what they're going through. It's crazy, man. It's like being a chosen one. It could take you. It's an expansion of many things. It's an extension of many things that happens in your daily life, on your journey, your experiences that you pick up, the lessons that you learn, the wisdom that you intake, the wisdom that you learn and build. You're building a lot of character, a lot of wisdom, but it don't feel like it, because everything seems like it's going wrong. Things seem like it falls apart. I try to do this, it don't work. I try to do that, it didn't work. It's a reason for that. There's a reason for it. There's a reason. Because there's something greater that's going on here. There's something bigger that's going on. So it wasn't meant for that to work. You got to keep opening up the doors till you find the right door. But yeah, guys, that's your assignment. Your purpose, if you're chosen one, your purpose is to heal from your experiences, learn your lessons, heal yourself. And it's easier said than done, but that's where your strength comes from. Learning how to pick up the pieces and heal yourself, because somebody's going to need you to help them, to collaborate with them, explain to them, tell them something, give them some confirmation, give them some kind of advice, talk with them, hear them out. Some of them might cry, but hear them out. They're going to need you. That's why the healing is so important, because you'll be equipped to help somebody else heal. It's like an energetic connection, like an energetic chain. Everybody catching on to the chain. And every hand that catches the chain is a different hand. But that's the connection you get from healing. It's a connection. That one is healed. This one is healed. And it's not a complete healing. It's just that you're healing these areas little by little as you go. It took a long period of time for the damage to happen. Because it happened over a period of 10 to 20 years of your life. So it's going to take time to get all that off of you. It's going to take time to clean things up. Forgive self, forgive others. It's a lot to it. Learning discipline, knowing what to speak, when not to speak. Learning emotional intelligence. Learning how to follow your intuition. Learning. It's a lot of learning. And it's a constant thing. You never just know everything. No, it's a constant thing. But it's also an adventurous thing. It's also you learning yourself, loving yourself, uplifting yourself. You know? This is what you learn along the way. Self-love, self-gratitude, self-awareness, humbleness, deeper faith, deeper spirituality, spiritual gifts. And it feels good to tap into your gifts and learning that you can actually help somebody with a gift of being able to teach them, a gift of being able to explain to them what they're going through and why they're going through it, and have them to feel much, much better because they understand now. You helped them to understand. They were able to receive the information and apply it to their life, and things just continue to get better. It can be. Definitely it can be. You know, but you gotta get there. We gotta want to get there as well. Wow. So the assignment, guys. Are you sure you want to be that chosen one? Are you that chosen one? Are you sure you want that assignment? You that chosen? Leave it in the comments. Tell me how you feel. Y'all, collaborate. Leave it in the comments and, share how you feel about it. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me you have any of your experiences of your own. Dreams, encounters, whatever have you, whatever you feel that helps you to relate, or whether or not you have that purpose. This is why you're here. Or you already on this level. You've played this out. You've lived this out. You've learned some lessons. Whatever level you may be on. Everybody in different areas of it. Nobody's on the same exact, but sometimes you can be, depending on who you meet. You can meet somebody who's going through the same thing you're going through. And then you can explain to them how you did it. And so on and so forth. So I had to get the message out, guys. Hey, I can't be looking at the time because it is what it is. I just hope someone was helped by it, okay? I didn't get to pull any cards because I wasn't going to do it unless it was necessary. But for this, I didn't need to pull any cards because that's not what this was for at the time. I actually just had to give a message to an understanding of the assignment that we must acknowledge, the assignment that we have. All right, guys? So I hope that it was helpful to you. And again, thank you guys for your support. Please don't forget to like, share the video. Please share the video because it helps other people. You'd be surprised how information can help others. So please share the video. Don't forget to like the video. And until next time, guys, take care.